Welcome to this video about this month's new moon and solar eclipse in Libra. We are the astrologers of Pandora Astrology. I'm Jamie Kale-Miller. I'm in Berkeley, California.
And I'm Julia Mijas, and I'm in San Francisco, California. So in this video, we're going to tell you about this eclipse, including what it's going to feel like, when it's happening, and the best ways to handle it.
And if you want to know more about how astrological influences affect your own chart, in a little bit, I'll give you a way to find out more in a live workshop with customized interpretations. This solar eclipse in Libra is also a new moon. Every solar eclipse is a new moon, actually. During a solar eclipse, the sun right here is eclipsed by the moon right here, showing a shadow instead. The earth, which we stand on, is bathing in the moon's shadow, blocking out the light of the sun. That's the definition of the solar eclipse. So this is a core concept of eclipses to keep in mind, the emergence of shadow material, as Carl Jung might call it. A solar eclipse shows us our shadow by how we behave. This one's in Libra, as you can see here, which is a very social and a relational sign. The shadow behavior we might express during this eclipse would be shadowy social behavior, such as passive aggression, being nice as a mask on top of something uglier, or even dissociating, because Libra is an air sign, which gives it a cerebral quality, even emotionally remote or distant. Mercury joins the sun. Here's the little guy with his thinking cap on. And Mercury is also an air planet, which heaps on top of the themes of escaping into one's head or using distraction to evade the truth. An eclipse always happens near a node, either the north node or the south node. The node that's closest to this eclipse is the south node, and that really matters. A south node eclipse is releasing in its nature, while a north node eclipse is initializing in its nature. So this one has a releasing effect. During this eclipse, we need to watch our behaviors. Are we being too sweet, like saccharine, or superficial? Are we overly focused on pleasing other people? And what does it cost us to behave this way? And what would it take to let this behavior go, because this is a releasing eclipse? I'd like to look next at the solution to this puzzle, which is found in the North Node in Aries. But before I do, Julia, I wonder what you think of this solar eclipse in Libra.
Yeah, well, I mean, what you're saying about the South Node and releasing, that we have a little bit of not just the South Node releasing, but the fact that a solar eclipse is a new moon. So something is also beginning as something is being released at the same time.
Yeah.
It's kind of like to get a fresh start, something has to be let go of. And, in the sign of Libra, all of those things that you mentioned, which is Libra's dark side, being a little too superficial, being passive aggressive. The new thing which might be beginning might be a new start within the relationships, especially if you are letting go of some of those, some of the more dark shadow material which you had mentioned.
Yeah, that might make it more appealing to get into a new relationship, especially for anybody who might be attracted, Well, the North Node, in this case, it always opposes the South Node precisely. And in this case, the North Node is therefore in Aries, and that's a fire sign that's ruled by the warrior planet Mars. Mars is the hero and pioneer. He's all about honesty, directness, spontaneity, and impulses. He's that part of us that has energy, drive, force, will, and self-determination. The North Node is saying that as we let go of false niceness and people-pleasing, there's a clear way forward, which is to be honest, direct, forthright, and transparent instead. Notice that Chiron is also here in Aries, opposed that moon. Chiron is saying this is the path forward towards healing. These Aries behaviors, honesty and transparency, can bring tremendous clarity. They can liberate your energy. What if your old Libra behaviors are just holding you back, making your life more complicated than it needs to be by trying to be nice when you don't mean it and trying to please people you don't care about, maybe just because it's a habit? Chiron and the North Node can clear the path ahead and leave you more whole as you walk it. Hi, Jamie here. Horoscopes and moon videos are fun, but they don't go very deep, really. If you want depth and personal clues, you'll want to join our monthly live workshop where you can talk with a real astrologer about your own chart. This month's topic is undergoing Pluto transformations with power and grace. Because Pluto transits feel like a long, dark night of the soul, and psychological death and rebirth is hard for all of us. In the workshop, I'll explain how to navigate these biggest of all life's changes smoothly. This workshop is expressly for our Demigod Patreon subscribers who pay only $15 a month for access to live events like this one. It's easy to sign up at the Patreon link in the description below. I'd love to see you there. Now let's get back to the video. Julia, more thoughts?
Yeah, as we're all watching this very, very long transit of Chiron through the sign of Aries, because of Chiron's orbit, it really spends a lot of time in Aries. This has been a symbolic time of trying to heal all things Aries, which can be our ability to assert ourselves, our inner masculine qualities, whether we're male or female, the inner masculine in all of us. And I can't help but notice that Chiron is exactly opposed Mercury. I mean, it's 20 minutes off. So it's really, really hitting that Mercury there, which is bringing up language and bringing up communication. And Mercury in Libra can be so good at seeing the other person's point of view that it loses track of its own opinions and its own speech. So there might be some degree of assertiveness that we find through our communication with others that brings us forward into what Chiron can promise, being conjoined the North Node and being the asteroid of healing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's such a powerful connection there with Mercury. Well, there are a couple more things I want to say about who will be the most impacted by this eclipse. If you have a birthday in cardinal signs, or if you know that you have a planet anywhere within this span in your chart in cardinal signs, anywhere between 16 and 21 degrees, even if it's not your sun, and it's in a cardinal sign, you're definitely going to feel this moon. But if your birthday is impacted by this moon, well, then you would have been born as an Aries between April 6th and 16th. If you are a Cancer, you would be born between July 8th and 19th. And if you're a Libra, you would be born between October 10th and 20th. And if you're a Capricorn, you would be born between January 6th and 16th.
Well, that's all for today. In this video, we gave you a lot of clues about this eclipse and how you can handle it for best results. And we really love making these videos for you. And if you love them too, then please hit that like button.
You can find out so much more about how astrological influences affect you specifically in our monthly Patreon workshops. Find the link in the description below to get started. And until next time, we'll see you around the cosmos.
Bye-bye.